Hey, finally spring is over. We're there to get some sun in Finland. It's not so cold anymore, although, you know, still we are there. But it's going to get better. Hopefully soon we can get to enjoy with some beach and some really actually warm weather. Especially for a Spanish living in Finland, it's fantastic stuff. But hey, I wanted to take you today in a bicycle trip because I decided to go for a bicycle, just a little bit of a ride. I'm not a pro or anything like that. I don't want to be, and I don't try to be. So don't worry about it. I'll show you my bike in a moment, and you will understand. So, but I just want to quickly talk with you about what are the lessons that I have learned throughout my career as a product manager, product leader, product director, and person that has been working with others and helping others to develop in their careers in product management. Let's go for a ride. First, let me show you. This is my bike. So that's what I'm going with. I think the model is like a Townie. It's not a beach cruiser, but it kind of is similar to a beach cruiser. And you might be wondering why there's no fender in the back. It's because I need to fix it. But hey, let's get going. So, first thing that I learned from being in all these years working as a product person in different companies is like the first thing that comes to my mind is that you have to be part of the team. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a product manager. I don't care if you're a product director, VP of product, CPO. Doesn't matter what. You always have to be part of the team where you're working, and that's extremely important. People tend to think that as a product person, you are kind of a leader, that you have to be telling others what to do, that they just have to go and execute, and while you are just coming with great ideas, great plans for them to make the better products out there and better products possible. But by doing this, people tend to forget many things like talking with customers, talking with the engineers, talking with the rest of the product managers that report to you as a product leader or product designers, doesn't matter who is reporting in your company. And the problem with this is that you are completely disengaged of the rest of the team. Remember that being a servant leader is probably one of the best lessons that you can learn. Servant leaders take care of their teams, help their teams to be able to perform, to execute. They also take part on the tasks that the team has to perform. They take part of the sessions of planning sessions, aviation sessions, customer discussions, working together with the engineering team. You have to work together with your team. And your team is not the team that is reporting to you, it's the team that you belong. So if you're a product manager, that's your squad, your engineers, your product designer, that they don't belong to you, you belong with them. And the same goes for a CPO. A CPO, you have to work with your VPs or your directors or your product managers, doesn't matter who reports to you. You are part of that team. You are not just there to tell the others what to do and then disappear, because then you are just a single manager. So the next one that I wanted to talk about is that you had to have a good culture and promote a good culture in the company, in your team. Because if you don't have a strong culture, if you don't have a common way of working, a common way of understanding the things that you should be doing, you might jump into problems. And I'm going to show you maybe not very strong analogy with this one here. That is a fallen tree. You could say that if you don't have a strong culture, your roots are not going to hold your tree, your business, your team, your company in place. If you have a weak root, like happens unfortunately quite often because there's too much rocks in the ground, so the roots cannot go very deep, then you have problems like things start falling apart. In this case, the poor trees. In your case, can be your company, your team members, whatnot. Have a strong team culture, have a strong culture in the company. I don't mean that you don't have diversity, it's a very different topic. You have to have different opinions, but you have to have common goals and common ways of understanding how to reach those goals, how to reach or execute better. If everybody's trying to do different things in different ways, never gonna work. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. So there were two things that I still wanted to, let me see if I fixed this. Maybe now better. So there were a couple of things that I wanted to still talk about today. My battery died, so car now. Sorry, no more bicycle. But first of all, one thing that as a product leader, product manager, product designer, it doesn't matter so much that you have to always take into account is that you have to take a step back and look at things in a different perspective. And this is important because otherwise we are very easily in a reacting mode. And we don't want to be just reacting to whatever is happening in our environment or to whatever needs come and all the time snapping. Although sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can take us away from our goals and take away all the focus that we need to actually deliver on the promise of the solution that we want to build for our customers. The other one that I want to say is that sometimes we talk too much about being perfect and having the perfect solutions, having the perfect processes, doing all the things in a perfect way. But the reality is that you will see it again and again and again. Very successful companies don't necessarily have very good processes, don't necessarily do the tasks or discovery in the most optimal way, and they still can be successful. So you can be successful even without doing everything perfectly. So sometimes being able to deliver makes better than being able to do perfect. So don't get lost with building for perfection, because when you just try to build for perfection, you might end up in a rabbit hole. You might end up in the I need to learn everything, I need to do everything perfectly, otherwise it will never be good. I think that there the approach of build, measure, learn that Eric Rice talks about is definitely a very, very important lesson to take, because sometimes, in my opinion, done is better than perfect. So you probably would never guess this one, or maybe you do, but this is actually most likely an animal path over a highway. These things are common in Finland. So first of all, you don't want to kill all your animals like deers and moose and foxes that they live around here, because that's your forest. And of course, you don't want accidents for the people driving in the highway that can go like 100 kilometers per hour. Probably is the speed for this one at this time of the year. Not sure how much is that in miles per hour, but I might put it in the edit. Anyways, what I wanted to talk now is that the other thing that I have learned over the years is that you have to listen to your customers, but with a pinch of salt. And hopefully this mic is not picking up too much noise from the wind on the highway, but I hope it's not too bad. But why do I say that? Is that customers, obviously you want to solve your customers' problems. You have to understand what problems your customers have. But it's very common for customers to come up with solutions. And you don't necessarily have to only pay attention to those solutions. You have to pay attention to the problems that those customers have. Is your expertise or your competence to solve those problems? It's not necessarily what the customers need to know. You are the expert as a product designer, as a product manager. You are the expert designing solutions for the customers. You have to understand really well what problems they have. You don't have to take necessarily what they say to do. And there's other approaches like many times people talk about we have to do product research, we have to work with our customers, you have to listen to your customers. But then probably one of the best examples of maybe not paying too much attention to what the customers have, to what their customers are saying, is Apple. And Apple has very successful products. You can like them or not, that's a different story. But it's very obvious that they know how to get new customers, that they know how to build successful customers or successful products and businesses for their customers. Having customers that are really happy and really engaged are really just not even wondering what next phone they're going to buy or what next computer they're going to buy. They're going to buy the next version that is available of the iPhone or the iMac or whatever they're using. So, listening to your customers, yes. Understanding their problems, yes. Always with a pinch of salt. You don't have to take necessarily all their solutions as what you had to build for them. By the way, I didn't pick a very great day to go with the bicycle because it's a little bit windy and my bicycle apparently is falling on the side. Oh, unfortunately for that tree, it has picked it up. Luckily for the bicycle on the other. Next one that I want to talk about is that you have to listen to your stakeholders. And I don't mean your customers, I mean people that you have to collaborate to. This can be partner companies, it can be sometimes sales teams or other teams in your company, other partners that you have to work with, like integration API, stuff like that, that you have to do with other products out there. It's very important to understand them, to listen to them, to also, in a way, treat them like customers, because you also have to understand their problems. You don't have to do what they tell you, as always. Your work is to make those decisions, just your work to make those solutions. But you have to understand what they need. You have to understand how you can help them, how you can serve them in the best way, and also understand, do they align or not with your vision, with your strategy, with your goals. So the next one I wanted to talk about is that you have to remember to plan. It doesn't mean that you always have to come with massive plans or small plans. It depends a lot on the project and the product and the feature that you're building. In some cases, a small plan with some short-term visibility is enough. In some cases, you are going to need a very long-term plan. It depends a lot on your product. Why I say this? Because sometimes if you don't plan things, you might bump into problems that you actually cannot continue working with. For example, like what I just had today. I went for a bicycle ride, forget to get water with me, and now I'm parched and thirsty and I cannot continue riding. So plan what you have to do, and actually then you will get better results and you will be able to understand more the actions that you will have to take. For me now, it's easy. Just found a place where to go and get some water. If you want to support the channel and want to maybe work with me or want to look at the templates I have been creating for you to make easier your work, go check out the links in the description and in the pinned comment down below. So what about you? What are your main key takeouts or lessons learned from being a product person? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. And remember, stay safe.